Yashodanandana Vrajajanarandana Yamunakira Vanachari Jayada Gopi Janavallabha Girivaradari Jayada Gopi Janavallabha Girivaradari Hare Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Jnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupaha Kadamanyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guraho Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Gurupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamscha Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschati Deshakarine He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Svancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhaktavrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. So we are today assembled here to discuss on this very wonderful topic of the second chapter of the 10th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, that is the prayers by the demigods for Lord Krishna on the moon. So it is mentioned that when the Lord appears, now where does the Lord appear and why does the Lord appear? So like this nice shloka, which makes a lot of sense at this point in time, is that Naham Tishtami Vaikunte Yogi Nam Hridaye Shiva. Like Krishna is telling that I don't reside in the Vaikunta, at my home, and then I don't reside in the hearts of the yogis. So, but Yatra Gayanti Mat Bhaktaha Tatra Tishtami Narada. So, like he's telling that I reside in that place where my devotees congregate and chant my glories. So, the real way of making the Lord appear, we are trying to celebrate Janmashtami, so but the real way of making the Lord appear is to come together and chant the names of the Lord. And also, in the morning I was quoting in one of in one of the Prabhupada's purports was there. So unless we take complete shelter of the Lord, we become completely dependent on the Lord, we will not be able to feelingly call out to the Lord. So it's a very important line actually. So it is like if we depend on our own strengths, so then we will not be able to get the dependence on the Lord. So but if we depend on the Lord, for His mercy, so then we will be able to feelingly call out the Lord, right? So it's a very, very important thing. And here we see that it's prayers by the demigods for Lord Krishna and the moon. So the prayers means it's a very, very feeling call, So this is possible only when we feel that we are dependent on the Lord. So sometimes we are cornered in our life, So sometimes we don't have any other option. So that time we actually go to the Lord and we actually pray. But rest of the times we don't feel like praying. So sometimes devotees ask, no, what should I do? Like I'm in front of the Lord, like what should I pray for? So it is stuck in the material world very badly, but still the prayers doesn't come. So this is the, many times people think effect of material nature, Maya means like Maya is told to have that Trishul, she's actually giving different kinds of miseries. So, but the biggest misery is that like it makes us feel that we are okay. That's the biggest misery. Because even when we are going through misery, like actually when we are going through some pain, we are able to think of the Lord, we are able to get to the point of praying to the Lord and things like that. So, but then if we are made comfortable, so if we are made to feel that no, everything is going fine, so that's the biggest weapon of Maya, where she can actually keep us bound in this material world. So we have to see the like onslaught of material nature. It just doesn't come in the form of misery. The biggest onslaught of the material nature is it comes in the form of the false happiness, actually. So, like we have to see that how we can actually move ourselves to this point of prayers. And we had discussed in many other sessions that the language of Bhakti Yoga is prayer. So like we communicate to the Lord through the way of by the means of prayer, and prayers are the means through which like the transactions of Bhakti Yoga happens. So if we have to advance from one level of Bhakti to another level, so we need to feel the need of it. We need to feel miserable in the current situation, and we need to feel that I should go to the next next grade or next level. So unless I feel that I have to go to the next level, so if I'm satisfied in the current level, so then I will not be able to offer prayer. Prayer means like if I'm comfortable, so then I will not feel the need to move. Right, so then there is no prayer that comes out. So always there is constant upgradation that is there. And somebody may ask, like the devotees who are offering prayers that we are seeing in Bhagavatam, so some of them are really elevated devotees. Even then, like it is not achieved. Like, what are we trying to do? So they have reached to such extent, and still they have to offer prayers, and still there are some more levels pending. So then, what is it that we are trying to do? So it is wonderful thing is that Krishna is unlimited, and the bliss that which Krishna can offer is also unlimited, and the way in which we can engage in service of the Lord is also unlimited. So there is a constant hankering that a devotee, he feels that he can become better and better in the service of the Lord, and he feels so much more obliged. The Lord is so perfect. The Lord is so amazingly taking care of all the living entities. So the living entity feels, a pure devotee actually feels that I should be serving the Lord much more, right? So he tries to be in that kind of a mood. And also, this Krishna consciousness is a moment-to-moment business. No, it is not that now I have achieved something, so I can stay on that particular platform. No, so it is a moment-to-moment business. No, if I think that I want to regress, I can regress also. And if I think that I want to progress, I can progress also. So those devotees who are constantly engaged in offering prayers to the Lord, so they are actually healthy devotees. They actually feel that this is a real way of getting connected to the Lord, right? So we are insignificant part and parcels of the Lord, and the Lord is the all-encompassing supreme absolute truth, and He is the energetic. He is the one who moves everything, and it is by His grace things actually happen. So when we understand this particular thing, naturally, like we offer prayers, right? So now this second chapter of Srimad Bhagavatam we are trying to study. I heard that like other topics are all covered, like many other topics are covered. Last week I was supposed to come and take this subject. But anyways, with Bhagavatam, this is okay. Bhagavatam, no chronology is followed. Suddenly like something Shukadeva Goswami remembers, and then he starts describing that, and then aage piche like hote rehta hai. So that is okay in Bhagavatam. So like here we see that the first chapter, it finishes with the Vasudev and Kamsaka, like there is discussion and things like that, and then Kamsa wanted to kill the different, Kamsa wanted to kill Devaki, and then she was protected by Vasudev's arguments and nice diplomacy. So and then finally, like Kamsa actually agrees to give up the first son, because like anyway the first son is not going to be the problem. So then by the advice of other demoniac people, and also by the advice of some saintly people, so like finally Kamsa decided that Vasudeva and Devaki should be kept in the prison, and then all their children should be killed. We never know like which is the seventh child or which is the child which where Vishnu will appear, and then he wanted to kill all of them. So, in fact, it is a very treacherous thing. So, like we see that anybody who actually sees this thing that their children are killed very brutally in front of them, so they would feel very, very bad. Here we see that one pointed focus on pleasing Krishna is very, very high, and that they are ready to go through any amount of distress just to attain the Supreme Lord. So, and the Lord is about, he's about to appear, and they are ready to welcome him, even amidst the miseries and difficulties and things like that. So this is one very important thing, that those who have not got a taste of Krishna consciousness, they will be wavering, because of happiness and distress of this world. But if we get the taste of Krishna consciousness, if we go a little deeper into Krishna consciousness, so and we get that param drishtva, experience of the higher taste. So then immediately what happens is, we will not be bothering for the small things of this world, happiness and distress of this world. So definitely that will affect, like being human beings, like having this kind of the human form of life. So the happiness and distress of this world definitely affect us, but then it will not affect for a long time. We'll be able to sustain that because we are getting something better, right? So like somebody calls, your boss calls you and tells like, no, I'm throwing you off the job. So then immediately you'll feel some pain. Immediately another call comes like, no, I am going to give you a better offer. No, will you join me? So then immediately all the pain will go off, right? So in the same way, we see that now there is a loss, even if there is loss in the material platform. Now, if there is gain in the spiritual platform, which is much, much more higher, so then immediately, like devotee becomes very nourished. So, like all the things in this material world is transient. We will be able to have only for some period of time, and because of our karma, something goes much before than what we expect. Like if we have some relative who's supposed to die at 60 years, he dies at 6 years. It's like it's just the time is preponed. That's all. Like anyways, we will not be able to have that particular person with us for a long time. So it is only a time, that is actually got varied. So, but in exchange, if we get Krishna, so that is very, very amazing. So a pure devotee of the Lord, he actually sees that, for attaining Krishna, like he wants to have an unwavering kind of mindset, unwavering kind of consciousness, and he wants to progress in Krishna consciousness. And the happiness and distress of this world, in one way, if we see, we cannot stop it. We have already earned it. By the way of our past karma, we have already earned it. And when something happy happens, we become elated, and something miserable happens, we become miserable. So, like, how does it going to change anything, in the current scenario? So, the spiritualist, he tries to balance, he tries to tolerate. This is the very important thing. So, like, there are different things that we have to do with different personalities. So, with Krishna, we should actively try to cultivate our love for him, right? So, that is the thing that is necessary. And with the devotees, we should actively try to cultivate friendship. And then with non-devotees, who are innocent, we should actively try to cultivate compassion, and we can try to bring them into Krishna consciousness. So in the same way, what is our attitude that should be towards this material world and the actions and reactions of this material world? So we are expected to maintain the mood of tolerance. Tam titikshva svabharata, right? So this is what Krishna mentions. This is the first principle in yoga system. So many times, when our Gita course happens, we ask people, what are you expecting out of this? So you have come to a spiritual place, you have come to ISKCON, and you're trying to study Bhagavad Gita. So what is your expectation? So when people say like, no, there is so much of problem in life, like we want to get out of it. So and our response is like, no, like you will not be able to get out of it. So because we are in Dukkalayam, how can we get out of the problem? Problems will continue to exist. We can only become strong enough to come above the problems, but problems will continue to exist, right? So here we see that Now, if somebody hears this pastime, people will say like, no, better I'll not take up Krishna consciousness. Why? I wanted to get solution for the problem, and here great devotees like Vasudeva and Devaki, they are also going through problem. Kab mera number kab layega? So like it is not going to happen. So, but then we see the consciousness. So, real parameter, what we are supposed to look for is not the cessation of miseries. It is how I can strongly face the miseries and not be affected by it, right? So that's what Vasudeva and Devaki are showing here, that they are going through serious miseries, serious problems, but then they are not affected. And one very important thing, how to test a devotee if he is solidly solidly situated. Whenever problem comes, like he will not deter in his devotional service. Come what. And weak people, they may show themselves as very nice devotees, but when the problem comes, they will first thing what they will do is they'll discount the devotional service. No, why you discounted the devotional service, Prabhuji? I'm going through so much problem. No, so like amidst of problem, even if I'm going through problem, if I'm continuing to serve Krishna, so then that means I'm solidly situated in devotional service. So real test of a devotee comes in the time of problematic situation. And just to bring about the glory of the devotees. Now, how to actually, if this is the testing criteria, like if how to identify who's the best student. When the exam comes, everybody gets to know. So in the same way, like how to identify who's a good devotee, exam has to come. So that is a miserable situation. So like the miserable situations will keep coming. But then a devotee who is fully absorbed in the thoughts of the Lord, he will be able to overcome them. So now Kamsa is doing this atrocious activities, and then like he is also gaining power by the way of his alliances. Like many names are given, very auspicious names, like Jarasandha, and like Agasur, Mushrik, Chanur, and people like that. So then after that, he actually subjugates all the people. He actually subjugates all the people like who could who are his enemies and who could potentially be his enemies. So this is how a materialist actually calculates. Now I will see that all my enemies are subjugated or destroyed, and who can possibly become my enemy? Now I will conquer them also, and I will make alliance with people like who will support my activities, who will support my ideas and things like that. So these calculations are very foolish, because ultimately the Supreme Lord is actually pulling the strings, right? So he will, anytime he can change the game within, within a short span. So like we see many great demons in the past, like Hiranyakashipu, like he had his own way of insurance policy. We have our own way of insurance policy, and like he has his own way of insurance policy. And after putting insurance policy, a person thinks that like, no, I'm safe now. No. So great people like who have put like much more higher premium, like Hiranyakashipu paid the premium of thousands of years of tapasya. So it's like more costly premium and more costly protection also. Still, the Lord managed to kill him. So there is no insurance policy which is going to save the living entity. And the demons are very expert in creating newer and newer insurance policies, and then ensuring that everything is covered nicely. Nothing more. There's no way like I can get any injury, right? So like that's the demonic nature. It doesn't mean that devotees should not put insurance policy. So we should, like, we may do that, whatever practically needed, but actual insurance policy is the remembrance of the Lord. So we should be having faith in this particular point. So even if our policy doesn't work, our remembrance of the Lord should work. So our chanting should work. So then it will be like real, real investment actually. So then after this, like what happens is the 6 children were actually killed very brutally by Kamsa, and then the 7th child was the Sankarshana, Baladev. He appeared in the womb of Mother Devaki. And when the Lord appears, it is a really very amazing thing. The whole atmosphere of the jail, the whole atmosphere of the jail and the cell, it became so illuminated, and the whole environment became very jubilant, and everything, all auspicious signs actually started manifesting. So then Kamsa and everybody knew that this could be the Supreme Lord himself. Otherwise, this kind of effect is not possible. And then everybody are waiting, when this child will come and what will happen and stuff like that and all. So, but then Balram is like by the arrangement of the Lord. So Balram is removed from the womb of Mother Devaki and put into the womb of Mother Rohini, right? So like much more like complicated gynecology, so it's difficult to understand how it happens. But then for Lord, anything and everything can happen. So then like the seventh, this one, eighth child, Krishna actually appears in the womb of Mother Devaki in a very, very special form, not like any material means. He appears in the mind of Vasudeva, and then from the mind of Vasudeva to the heart of Vasudeva, and from the heart of Vasudeva to the heart of Devaki, and then from there he enters into the womb of Devaki. So it's a very, very transcendental way. In fact, like we can actually make a seminar of what all ways the God actually enters into this world. Sometimes he comes from the nostril, sometimes he comes from the lotus flower, sometimes he comes from different ways actually he actually comes from. And it's quite difficult to imagine, just like when people take films, so they have to break their head how the hero will enter into the scene. So like they have to learn from the Supreme Lord, like in each of the incarnations he enters very dynamically, dramatically. So because he's a dramatist, he's a very amazing nutter. So so he enters very amazingly. And then so when the Lord appears, the Supreme Lord Krishna appears in the womb of Mother Devaki, again there is so much of auspicious signs, like everything was illuminated, and the whole environment is very jubilant. Somebody may ask, like, how can somebody be happy in the jail? That too, like when the demon is waiting to kill your child, the moment it is born. So, but then the Lord is the ocean of bliss. He's the ocean of bliss. When we are connected with the Supreme Lord, who's the ocean of bliss, naturally we will be happy. So this is the way of being happy. So I always remember this shloka as very when I first time heard from one of my friends, like it became stuck to my mind. I didn't even memorize this particular shloka. It just got stuck. So that Sukha Rupa Sukadara Sakara Pindavan Matam Sri Krishna Charana Dvandvam Sukham Brahmatu Kevalam. So it's like, it's a very, very deep shloka. So it says that Sukha Rupa Sukadara. So there is a form of happiness and the source of happiness, right? So just like there is form of sweetness and there is source of sweetness. So like sugar is both the form of sweetness. So you put in the mouth, it will be sweet. And then it is also the source of sweetness. It can make another preparation sweet, right? So in the same way, the Supreme Lord, he is both the form of happiness and then the source of happiness as well, right? So, but then many other things may offer us happiness in this world, right? So many other things can promise happiness in this world, a good job, a good family, or good bank balance, and all these things. And in this shloka, Sukham Brahma tu Kevalam. So Brahman is, of course, it is a form of happiness, but it cannot make you happy because it is not the source of happiness. So you have to add Krishna's lotus feet into the life. So that is when, just like only sugar can make another preparation sweet. A sweet rice cannot make another preparation sweet, right? So in the same way, if we really want to be happy, so we have to remember the lotus feet of the Supreme Lord. So that's the real root and real source of all the happiness, right? And this source of happiness, Anandam Buddhivardhanam, so like the ocean of bliss, and that too ever expanding ocean of bliss. So when it appears, so then when he appears in our body, so in our heart, so then it becomes very jubilant. And so all of us have the opportunity to like experience Krishna in this particular form, right? So there are sometimes very difficult services are there, like many ways we can actually have the experience of the Lord. So just like for Hanuman, his service was to go to Lanka and to find Mother Sita, and Hanuman was a brahmachari and he was examining beautiful women captured by, like Ravana, and he was seeing like, is this Mother Sita? Is this Mother Sita? So like when I was explaining this, one devotee asked, like, this is very, very difficult service, like, for a brahmachari to do. So then how can we do such a service? So then like I told, like we are expected to find Krishna in the names of Krishna. and we are struggling to do that. We are not expected to do such difficult service. We are given such simple service to find Krishna in the names of Krishna, and we are not able to find, right? So it's very important that we try to find Krishna. So in fact, it is one of the important like important criteria or important direction in the like practicing of Krishna consciousness. So what is the ultimate goal in practice of Krishna consciousness, or what is a sadhaka like is trying to do? So generally, if you see any spiritualist, you ask them, like for a lawyer, if you ask them, lawyer and a doctor, they will say we are practicing this particular this one. In the same way, if you ask a spiritualist, what does he say? Any idea? Practitioner? Any other word that is used by the spiritualist? Seeker, yeah, seeker. It's a very, very important thing, seeker. So, in fact, in the Chaturshloki Bhagavatam, like Krishna actually summarizes the whole of the Vedic teachings. So, he mentions that everything that exists is having its connection with the Lord, and the Lord was existing before the creation, and during the creation also he is existing, and in fact everything that exists is nothing but his expansions, and then after the creation everything actually comes back to him, right? So this is the condition of the Lord. So literally speaking, without the presence of the Lord, no state of existence is there, pre-creation, during the creation, and after the annihilation. So no state of existence is without the Lord. And even in this kind of situation, if somebody manages to see something which doesn't have connection to the Lord, that means he is in Maya. So this is the definition of Maya. And then the Lord says, one who tries to find this absolute truth, who's the root of everything, who's the source of everything, and if he tries to find this absolute truth, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, in every sphere of life, so then he is actually working for the goal, right? So the real goal of life is not just to attain the Lord, is to have this tendency to seek out, always trying to find where is the Supreme Lord, right? So this is a very, very important thing. So in every aspect of the whole creation, the Lord is present. The Lord is present in every single atom. The Lord is present in the heart of every living entity. The Lord is present in micro level and macro level, in different levels the Lord is present, and he is managing various things. But then the most difficult thing is that we are not able to find that personality. Who is the basis of everything, who is the cause of everything, and who's who's everything of this entire creation. But we are not able to see him. We are not able to experience him, right? So this seeking, how will I be able to find this person, and how will I be able to attain this person? So this is a very, very important seeking, that is needed, for a practitioner of Krishna consciousness. And here we see that, you can see that when the Lord appears, and then there is very, very nice visible symptoms that the Lord is going to appear. So then, actually the eagerness actually increases. So somebody may say, okay, anyways, in a little bit of time, the Lord is going to appear. So, but then, all of us have the experience. So when our exam is there, so when exam is quite far away, we are okay. When it comes closer, then the nervousness actually comes in. And in this way, every scenario you see, that something important is going to happen when the time comes closer. Immediately the whole anxiety and anxiousness and everything increases. And here the situation is like this. And for Mother Devaki and Vasudev, they are very eager to have the presence of the Lord. They're very eager to see the Lord. And Kamsa is also very eager. So now, actually, Kamsa sees this wonderful transformation of Mother Devaki. She has become very, very beautiful, and she's become very jubilant and effulgent, and the whole environment has become very auspicious. And Kamsa is seeing, and then he's thinking that, no, I think it is not very good, this one to, if I kill my sister at this point in time, then everything is finished. But then I should not do that, because she's pregnant now and she's under my care. And if I kill her, what will people say and things like that. So the acharyas say that even a demoniac person will start thinking somewhat saintly, in the presence of the Lord. So that's the influence of the Lord. So when the Lord appears, everything auspicious actually appears. And then here it is mentioned that Kamsa became Krishna conscious in an unfavorable way. He started calculating, when will this person appear? And if he appears, will he be able to kill me? Or if he appears like, no, will I be able to manage him and will I be able to fight with him and stuff like that? So much of contemplation, constant absorption in the thoughts of the Lord is there. So somebody may say, so this is devotional service. So what is the expectation of a devotee? To be in constant Krishna consciousness. So, but it is not just that. So the definition that the acharyas give is that, what is the definition of bhakti? Anya bilashita shunyam jnana garmadhi anavritam anukulyena Krishna anushilanam. No, bhakti rutam. So this is very, very important, this one, that we have to be free from all other desires other than the desire to please the Supreme Lord. And in that kind of a mood of desiring to please the Supreme Lord, if you remember the Lord continuously, so, and that too, as directed by the exalted devotees like Narada, great personalities who are there. So, following in their footsteps, if you remember the personality of Godhead, so then that is called bhakti. But Kamsa, he was also remembering the Lord, but this is not called as bhakti. He was constantly thinking how to harm the Lord, and he was not thinking how to serve the Lord, right? So that's not called as bhakti. So, but it has the resemblance of bhakti, and even such remembrance has some effect. It has some effect in purification and things like that. So, but then it is not going to take us to a very high level of, we will not get the results of bhakti, as it is described. But definitely they will get some kind of purification by the remembrance of the Lord. So in the 7th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, it is mentioned, anyone who remembers the Lord, whether with hatred or with likingness or with the mood of servitude, in whichever way, if somebody is absorbed in the thoughts of the Lord, he will be able to get out of the cycle of birth and death. That much is possible. So that's why demons, they get out of the cycle of birth and death and they enter into the region of Brahman. Because they were able to constantly think of the Lord. So they cannot stay in this material world. So they're pushed into Brahman, right? So they become transcendental to the modes of nature. So then they're pushed into Brahman. But then if we have favorable service attitude, we get the entrance into the spiritual world. Otherwise we will not get entrance into the Vaikuntha. So we will be floating in the Brahman. So now, after understanding that Devaki is bearing the Supreme Personality of Godhead, so immediately the demigods, they actually appear. So Indra, Brahma, and many other host of demigods, they actually appear in the prison cell, and they are offering their prayers, right? So these Devi Devatas, they are the official in charges of this world. So there are multiple lakhs and crores of them, who are there. And each one of them, they manage different departments, right? So the major departments like Indradev, he handles the department of, which department he handles? Indradev? Rain department. And then Chandra, what does he maintain? So Chandra maintains the flavor in the vegetables and fruits. And then Chandra also maintains the he also controls the mind. So that is why during Amavasya and Paurnami, people who are lunatic, which has a lunar component in it, people who are lunatic, they go extremes, because of the extreme activity of the Chandrama, right? And also the Chandra controls the tides in the ocean, right? So these are all some of the activities which the Chandra Dev actually handles. So in that way, Varuna, he handles the water bodies, and then Surya Dev, he handles the health department and the lighting department. So like that, various departments are handled by various Devi Devatas, and all of them are working for their boss, who's the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And when he appears, automatically everybody comes. Just like during Janmashtami and big festivals, we try to invite many different politicians also, because we don't have any relationship with them, but at least if we have a favorable relationship with them, so they will not obstruct the practice of Krishna consciousness, or they will not obstruct the activities of Krishna consciousness. So we try to invite. And that time, one devotee actually told in the beginning that, why are you going and inviting every single person? You just invite MLA, everybody will come. So all other people will come automatically. So that is one, this one. The same way, here we see that to get one demigod, like people have to do big tapasya. But if Krishna appears, automatically everybody comes and assemble there, right? So to offer their prayers. So here we start with the first prayer of the Devatas. So, okay, so here we see that the demigods are praying that no, you are like truth, no, you are the absolute truth. And what kind of an absolute truth? Like Satyam Param, no, you are the supreme absolute truth. There is no truth, no, that is beyond you. And then also you are Satya Vrata, so means like no, whatever you say, it will come to pass actually. And it is actually predicted that the Supreme Lord will come as the eighth child. And it was such a precarious condition. No, the situation was not very favorable, and everybody were thinking and planning like no how like thinking and actually bewildered how the Lord is going to appear. No, Kamsa is ready to kill and everything is unfavorable, and how the Lord is going to appear, and still the Lord manages to appear, right? So that's the amazing thing that no, he makes a prophecy, and then even how much ever difficulties, how much ever obstacles come, definitely he will bring his words true. No, and there are many other things that are there in the first prayer, but I'll just skip this particular prayer. And the next prayer is the description of the whole material world, which is described. The demigods are very scholarly people, and then they are actually showing their scholarship by describing the material world in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So like the one is the body, and this body gives rise to two things, that is happiness and distress. And this happiness and distress is produced because of the three modes of nature, which is actually like making the living entities to dance in different ways. And then it is rooted with four kinds of taste, that is like dharma, artha, kama, and moksha. And then like there's many different different things that are mentioned. Like it's just the description of the material world. And why do they actually describe this material world in this way? So the purpose of describing the material world is that finally to conclude, oh my Lord, oh Supreme Lord, you are the root of this material world. No, you are the essential cause. So it is mentioned, the efficient cause of this material world manifested with its many varieties as the original tree is you, O Lord. You are the maintainer of this material world, and after annihilation, you are the one in whom everything is conserved. Those who are covered by your external energy cannot see you behind this manifestation, but theirs is not the vision of learned devotees. It's a very important point. So you see that the Lord is the efficient cause, the effective cause, sarva karana karanam. So without him, we cannot imagine anything that exists in the whole creation, right? So like I used to give this example. So many times in the like movies which depict some demons, like they have a huge establishment, and then these demons are like creating a lot of ruckus and things like that. And when the demon is killed, whole of his establishment, everything comes crashing down. Like you might have seen many different movies. Like I don't want to rekindle the thoughts of these movies, but then the concept is like this. In the same way, the very existence of anything in this world proves the existence of the Lord, because without the presence of the Lord, nothing can exist. So now the demons are trying to kill the Lord, kill Lord Vishnu. That's their only one-pointed goal. And if they manage to kill Lord Vishnu, they themselves will not exist, because the source of their existence is the Lord. And if they kill the Lord, they themselves will die. Because like this body is existing because of the existence of soul, and the soul is existing because of the existence of super soul. And if you kill the super soul, it's not possible. And like by some proposition we take that we kill the soul, we kill the super soul. So then nothing in the whole creation can exist. So that's the position of the Supreme Lord. So everything that possibly exists in this world is just nothing but an emanation from him, right? And then like this is the form of creation. And when the things are emanated, some people, they are able to emanate things, they are able to create things, but they cannot control the things which they have created. But the Lord, he is completely in control of the creation, and he is completely in control of the maintenance. After he creates something, he's not thinking that, oh God, like, what did I create? No, he's God himself. He will not say, oh God. So like, anyways, so the Lord will never be in such a position, because he is completely in control of maintaining the things, right? So many times people ask, so much of atrocities are happening against the Sanatan Dharma. No, is our Lord living or he's dead and gone? No, or is he in control, or are things going out of his hands? So never anything can go out of the hands of the Lord. No, this is the conviction that a devotee has. Everything that exists or everything that happens, which is perfectly under the control of the Lord. So actually, this question comes because the people think that the Lord means he must be like very good person. No, definitely he's very good person. And when the very good person exists, how can something bad happen? So it's a very logical question. And the answer of the devotees is that something bad happens, that's the proof of existence of the Lord, right? So because everything that has all the possible things that are existing are creations of the Lord. So people wrongly think that only Lord means goody things. The very same thing we can apply, we can imagine our parents when we were a child, and those parents who are managing the children. So all of can you you all like your children, right? So it's they are very dear to you, but then you sometimes beat them also, no? So and when the child, if he says no, what is this, you don't like me, you are beating me. I like you, that's why I'm beating you. That will be the response of the parent. So in the same way, why there is so much of miseries that exist, so Lord likes us, that's why he gives us miseries. So it has a very deep purport, so we don't have sufficient time to explore that particular point. So but then the understanding is that it is not that the Lord is only the source of good things and bad things are happening either by the devil or by out of control of the Lord. So it is not like that. So the bad things are also completely under the control of the Lord, and everything that happens is completely under the will of the Lord. Is exactly under the will of the Lord. So anyway, so in this way, we can actually understand that the Lord is the effective cause of everything that exists, right? And then the Devatas, they say, "Oh Lord, you are always in full knowledge, and to bring all good fortune to all living entities, you appear in different incarnations. All of them are transcendental to the material creation. When you appear in these incarnations, you are pleasing to the pious and religious devotees, but for non-devotees, you are the annihilator," right? So in this way, we see that when the Lord appears, he actually nourishes the living entities. So this is what we all are trying to also have. So when we try to chant the names of the Lord and when we try to hear the glories of the Lord, so if we do that in the right mood and attitude, so then we will be able to feel the presence of the Lord. So and if the Lord is present, he will definitely nourish the soul, right? So we will feel very elated and nice. So in fact, when we newly joined the Brahmacharya ashram, so we were living in a very small temple, and then in the temple we used to sleep in the temple hall. Myself and one more fellow Brahmachari. So I think I've shared this some time back, but those of you who have not heard, it will be nice to see this. So we used to sleep in the temple hall, and at one point in time, every night we used to get some sound of some payal ka sound, ankle bells, and we are sleeping inside the temple hall, and then first day I was thinking maybe hallucination, and second day same thing happened, and then we both started talking the next day, saying that in the night I'm just getting some hallucination, some kind of a ankle bell sound. The other brahmachari told no, even I am getting that. So we were terrified. Maybe some demon is coming or something like that. Or our deities, presenting deities that time was Jagannath, Baldev, and Subhadra. And then the other brahmachari told probably Subhadra Maya is trying to do something walk around and things like that and all. And we were so terrified. So we were so terrified. So then after a day, we were discussing, are we devotees or not? If Lord is actually doing some pastime, and why are we getting fear? So, so this is the position. The demons actually they feel very much terrified in the presence of the Lord, right? So if the Lord is going to appear, oh, I have done so many mistakes, all these things, what will happen now? The Lord is going to come. So like that. So, but then the devotees, who are always nicely serving the Lord, so they will feel very elated. They will feel, very nourished in the presence of the Lord. So we should try to, be nice, we should try to be a faithful servant of the Lord, and we should try to anticipate the appearance of the Lord, right? So then, we can actually get the nourishment of being in the presence of the Lord. So then, it is mentioned here that the Lord is so amazing a personality that just by taking shelter of the lotus feet of the Lord, just by meditating on the lotus feet of the Lord, so a person can actually cut the bonds of material existence, and then he can go beyond the material existence. And the lotus feet of the Lord are compared to a great boat, which is which is capable enough to cross through this material ocean, right? And this boat is such an amazing boat. Like many great personalities have taken this boat and then crossed over this material ocean. And even they cross over, but still the boat is there on this side, to onboard many more suffering souls. So how is it possible? It is mentioned that the moment you board the boat, immediately the whole material ocean becomes so small, like a calf's hoof print. You can just cross over it. So that's the wonderful aspect of this boat. This boat never needs to not traverse anywhere, because this is the ultimate Dham, Param Dham. This is a supreme abode. Everything that exists within this lotus feet of the Lord. And just by taking the shelter of the lotus feet of the Lord, we become completely immune to this material world. So, and then it is mentioned, O Lord, who resemble the shining sun, you are always ready to fulfill the desire of your devotees. Sometimes devotees may say, Prabhuji, it doesn't look to be true. So I have so many desires, but Lord is not fulfilling it. So that is there. So the Lord, what happens is, Lord has a particular way of fulfilling the desire. So when we see that Kardam Muni had a desire to have a wife, and he was doing tapasya. And when the Lord appeared, Lord asked, what do you want? I wanted something, but everything got satisfied. Then the Lord said, still you have a wife. So then, you see, Dhruva Maharaj, he wanted a great kingdom. And then he was doing severe tapasya. And then the Lord appeared, and the Lord asked, what do you want? No, I don't want anything. It's that's how the Lord actually, So he actually purifies the desires. He actually makes sure that we don't have any material desires. So if we have a material desire, so after achieving that, we will still be miserable. And if a person is very charitable person, in fact, when Vamanadev approached Bali Maharaj, so and Vamanadev asked 3 steps of land from Bali Maharaj told no, it'll be a very insult for me. You come to me and you beg, and then you go to another door and beg, it'll be an insult for me. Once you come to my door, all your needs forever should be satisfied. You should not go to another door to beg, right? So Supreme Lord is also like that, So he says that once you come to me, and once I grant you something, then after that you should not be disturbed by so many desires. You should be completely satisfied. So then you will not be worried about getting this and that and things like that. So that is why, what does the Lord do? You ask anything, and you sincerely pray to the Lord actually gives himself to the devotee. And when the devotee gets the Supreme Lord as his wealth, so then he sees that there is nothing more greater than that is there. So I am completely satisfied. He becomes completely satisfied. Right? So in that way, the Lord actually, this is a peculiar way of reciprocation of the Lord, and that is why intelligent materialists, they don't come to Vishnu. They go to the other demigods, because हम लोग list दे सकते हैं, जो list में दिया, the very same thing we will get. I want this, then I will get that only. Krishna says no, I want this. Krishna will ask, why do you want? No, if I get this, I will be happy. So the Krishna will negotiate. No, if you get me, you will become more happy. Better you have me than that particular thing, right? So in that way, so the intelligent materialists, they know, Krishna is going to trick us. So in that way, they will not go to Krishna, and they will go to some demigods, and they will try to get exact requirement, made to order. So so they want made to order. So that is why they go there. And then it is mentioned that there are so many different shelters that are there. Apart from the lotus feet of the Lord, there are so many different shelters that are there, so which can offer some protection, right? So all of you, those who are having some good house and good job and nice salary and things like that, you feel protected, right? So you're protected, your financial status is protected, your life is protected, and things like that. So here it is mentioned that you may get some shelter in different places, but these shelters cannot offer you protection throughout your life or throughout your existence. Even if they manage to give you shelter, you will not be satisfied, with them, for a long period of time, right? So that is the biggest problem, So this, I used to give this example. Somebody gets a nice job. He's a fresher and he's struggling very hard to get a job. He gets a nice job, and then he's offered a good sum of pay. And after 1 year, the very same thing which gave him happiness becomes the source of his distress. So now, like, you ask him, like, what is your problem? Like, you're having the same job. Yeah, I am having the same job. And you're having the same salary. Like, no, I'm having the same salary. You're having the same position. I'm having the same position. Then what is the problem? Why are you sad? That is the very problem. Like, now I'm in the same place. I want to go. I want to, like, the very same thing that gave him happiness a year back is not continuing to give him happiness, even now, right? So the different shelters that are there in this world, they can offer us some kind of happiness. But then the problem is the living entity always raises his bar. I've got some level of happiness, and then, will I be satisfied? No, immediately my bar of expectation raises. And then, I will expect something more, right? So that's how the nature of the living entity is. And like any of the shelters that we see, no boss can satisfy an employee completely, because it is impossible, because the expectation keep rises. And no shelter in this world can satisfy the living entity completely. Only the Supreme Lord can satisfy. So how can you say only the Supreme Lord can satisfy? Even with him, like, our expectation may increase, right? So the Supreme Lord, the definition of the Supreme Lord is Anandam Buddhi Vardhanam. He is ocean of bliss. Even if we are supplied with ocean of bliss, our expectation may increase. But then this ocean of bliss is Vardhanam, Pratipadam. Every moment it is increasing. Even before I can contemplate of another hike, 10 more hikes are gone. We get so much remuneration that we don't even think of anything else. So that's why when a person reaches the platform of lotus feet of the Lord, he feels that up bounce gaya. Like, I don't want to go, I don't want to have anything else. Now I've got such an amazing boss who keeps giving me hike, who keeps giving me increase in bliss, every moment before even I can think of or ask for. So then a devotee start feeling gratitude, rather than being demanding. A devotee starts feeling gratitude, like, whatever I need and over and above that, I've been given. So what more I require? So in this way, one who takes the shelter of the lotus feet of the Lord, he feels completely satisfied, right? So this is something that the demigods actually mentioned. So then they say that, O Madhava, Supreme Personality of Godhead, O Lord of Goddess of Fortune, if devotee is completely in love with you, sometimes fall from the path of devotion. They do not fall like non-devotees, for you still protect them. Thus, they fearlessly traverse the heads of their opponents and continue to progress in devotional service. So sometimes, people have this anxiety. What happens if I do a mistake? What happens, like, if I do something wrong and then God were to punish me and things like that. So, but that's not at all a anxiety of a devotee. A materialist may have this anxiety, but then a devotee of the Lord, he will never have this anxiety, because even if he by mistake, he falls, he regrets something, a little bit, it is not going to be a severe regress, because the Lord is going to be always in watch over. The Lord is going to be always protecting the living entity. So in fact, we see there is a wonderful narration in Srimad Bhagavatam, of King Prithu and Maharaj Indra. So like the Devata Indra. So Prithu Maharaj was performing Ashwamedha Yagyas, and he wanted to perform 100 Ashwamedha Yagyas. And performing 100 Ashwamedha Yagyas means you will get eligible to apply for the post of Indra. And Indra becomes so much agitated. Somebody is applying for my post, and then he actually comes and uses so many illegal means to stop the 100th Ashwamedha Yajna. And it is very, very visible. So he is a culprit. He is actually doing criminal ways. He is actually like he's stealing the horse, which is meant for the Ashwamedha sacrifice. And then he's coming in so many different ways. And actually, he's not fighting in a legal way. He's not showing himself up, and then he's not challenging, right? So he is actually coming as a coward, and he's actually trying to steal away, the horse that is there in many different illegal means. And then when the Lord appears in the scene, to settle this matter, so everybody expected, okay, now Prithu Maharaj is a devotee, and then Prithu Maharaj did everything legally, right? So he was trying to apply for the post of Indra in a legal means, no? And then Indra, the placeholder, the Indra, like he was trying to use illegal means, and he was doing wrong, and the god is going to punish him, right? So everybody were expecting this. But then Krishna came, he told like, okay, fine, like you're also devotee, he's also devotee. Like, कभी कभी गलती हो जाता है, like, माफ कर दीजिए. It's like, you just forgive this person. And somebody may ask like, my lord, how can you do this? Like, no, this guy committed all mistake and he should be punished rightly. And the Lord says like, no, bichara, no, maaf kar do. Like that. So this is the position of the Lord. The Lord is not a person who's trying to find the first fault and catch you at the wrong, catch you doing the wrong thing and then punish the person. No, he's not a person like that. Lord is actually waiting to catch us doing something right and to award us. No, that's the personality. That's the kind of person the Supreme Lord is, right? So that is why he is glorified as the most merciful person. No, he's like most amazing person, right? So if the Lord were to be a person who's always in the lookout, when will this person commit a mistake and I'll catch him and I'll beat him? So then nobody would be worshipping the Lord. There will be a lot of attrition. So but one who comes to the shelter of the Lord, the attrition doesn't happen. The Lord is very, very expert in maintaining his servants. He nourishes them very nicely that nobody wants to leave him. So then it is mentioned, oh Lord, during the time of maintenance, you manifest several incarnations, all of with transcendental bodies beyond the material modes of nature. When you appear in this way, you bestow all good fortune upon the living entities by teaching them to perform Vedic activities as such as ritualistic ceremonies, mystic yoga, austerities, penances, and ultimately samadhi, ecstatic absorption in thoughts of you. Thus, you are worshipped by the Vedic principles. So when the Lord appears, he tries to do this thing, establishment of dharma. That is mentioned very nicely here. So in the phase of the creation, so the Lord appears in many, many different incarnations. And then it is mentioned, Kali Kale Nama Rupe Krishna Avatar. So in the Kali Yuga, the Lord actually appears in the form of the holy name. And when he appears, he actually bestows good fortune upon the living entities. So this is a very good opportunity. We are trying to celebrate Janmashtami festival. And then in this festival, the core principle is that we are going to invite people. And then when people come there, they are going to hear the holy name of the Lord. They are going to see the deities very nicely decorated. And in the various preaching stalls, they are going to hear about the glories of the Lord and teachings of the Lord. So in this way, we can actually invoke the presence of the Lord in the form of his holy name, in the form of his glories, in the form of his Archa Vigraha. And when he appears, he actually bestows the good fortune upon all living entities. So if we at all have any favorable attitude towards the people around us, if we at all want to have bestow some good wishes upon these people, so then we should actually call them for this festival. And when they come and when they actually take darshan of the Lord, when they hear the holy name of the Lord, so they will become Lord will bestow good fortune upon them, right? And then it is mentioned, O Lord, cause of all causes, if your transcendental body were not beyond the modes of material nature, one could not understand the difference between matter and transcendence. Only by your presence can one understand the transcendental nature of your Lordship, who are the controller of material nature. Your transcendental nature is very difficult to understand unless one is influenced by the presence of your transcendental form. So this is, this Srila Prabhupada actually in the purport, he quotes a very wonderful shloka, which summarizes this and which actually elucidates the meaning of this particular shloka in a very, very more deeper way. So in that particular shloka, it is mentioned, Prasada lesanu grahita evahi janati tattvam bhagavan mahimno. So the Lord is not made of anything material. So in Bangalore, especially in this particular area, we have many software engineers. All of you are quite educated and quite expert in assimilating the material subject matters. So, but the problem in Krishna consciousness is Lord is not a material subject matter. So we cannot become expert about the Lord just by the study or just by exploration. So what is actually necessary is prasada lesana grihita evahi. One who is even bestowed even a trace of the mercy of the Lord, he will be able to understand the Lord. So this is the actually summary of this particular glorification by the demigods, that like the Supreme Lord is transcendental. No, Supreme Lord is beyond the material nature. All my circus of trying to understand him through my own endeavor will not work. And I need to have even at least a trace of the mercy of the Lord. And then I will be able to understand the Lord, right? So it is a very important thing. So we are trying to understand the Supreme Lord. No, so and this is the way, no, just to beg for a trace of mercy of the Lord. So that is how we can actually understand him. And then, O Lord, your transcendental name and form are not ascertained by those who are those who merely speculate on the path of imagination. Your name and form and attributes can be ascertained only through devotional service. No, bhaktya mama vachanati. So the Lord says that only through the process of bhakti, no, you will be able to understand me. So when we try to serve the Lord, then the Lord becomes pleased and he bestows his mercy upon us. And when he bestows the mercy upon us, then we will be able to understand him. So what does it mean, like we will be able to understand him? So here it is mentioned, we will be able to understand the name of the Lord and we will be able to understand the form of the Lord. So in fact, the way in which we can understand the Lord is Nama, Rupa, Guna and Leela. So name, form, like qualities and the past tense. So this is the progressive way of understanding the Lord. And the first thing, everybody are expected to practice the first thing. So that is the name of the Lord, right? So all of us are expected to chant the names of the Lord and hear the names of the Lord clearly. No, if you are able to do that, so that is equivalent to the darshan of the Lord, right? So we are able to have a clear darshan of the Lord. So when you are able to hear the names of the Lord clearly, so when the kirtan happens, like sometimes we get carried away by the tune, right? And then we get a lot of josh when the like fast beat actually comes and things like that. But the real thing in the kirtan is that we have to expose ourselves to the sound vibration. We have to be very careful to catch each and every mantra, each and every syllable that is being chanted. So when we are able to expose ourselves, when we are a very sincere recipient of the sound vibration, then we will be able to feel the presence of the Lord, right? So this is the way the Bhakti Yoga is done. So we sincerely try to render service to the Lord by the way of giving clear oral reception to the names of the Lord, and then you will be able to feel the presence of the Lord. And when you feel the presence of the Lord, naturally you feel nourished, right? And then the Devatas are mentioning, even while engaged in various activities, devotees whose minds are completely absorbed at your lotus feet and who constantly hear, chant, contemplate, and cause others to remember your transcendental names and forms are always on the transcendental platform, and thus they can understand the Supreme Personality of God. The previous slokas, it was mentioned that Lord is transcendental, Lord is beyond the matter, and this particular sloka says that even though I am engaged within this material body, if I constantly chant and remember the Lord, then I can also be there in the same transcendental platform, right? So that is the amazing thing. So what is so beautiful or what is so amazing about being in the transcendental platform? So if you see the second shloka or second glorification which the Devatas offered, so they told that happiness and distress of this world is because of the three modes of nature, like sattva, rajas, and tamas. And being transcendental to these modes means like we will go above the happiness and distress of this world, and we will be able to access the pure bliss of Krishna consciousness, right? So this is the amazing aspect. So why it is mentioned here. So if the Lord is beyond the happiness and distress of this world, and if we remember him, we will also be able to go beyond the happiness and distress of this world. So that's the formula that is there. And then, oh Lord, we are fortunate because the heavy burden of the demons upon this earth is immediately removed by your appearance. Indeed, we are certainly fortunate, for we shall be able to see upon this earth and in the heavenly planets the marks of lotus, conch shell, club, and disc that adorn your lotus feet. So this is an amazing thing. The moment the Lord appears, immediately all the inauspicious things actually gets destroyed. So there is a nice line that is there in Srimad Bhagavatam, which appears during the pastime of Samudra Manthan. In fact, after the pastime of Samudra Manthan. So when the pastime of Samudra Manthan is finished, the Devatas were awarded the nectars. Like after drinking the nectar, they become very invincible. They become very powerful. And then the demons also become powerful because they were cheated of the nectar. No, they were not given the nectar. So because of this deprival, because of the anger, their strength increased. No, sometimes out of anger, strength increases. So even though the Devatas, they have just drunk the nectar and they have become powerful, but the demons, they offered a very, very stiff fight. And it became so difficult for the Devatas to handle. So immediately, there was one deadlock situation, where the Devatas were not able to find any means. Like the demons had attacked from all different directions, and Devatas were left, helpless. And at that point in time, like the Devatas, like they actually, they do one magic. What magic they do? So this very nice line of Srimad Bhagavatam, which we can actually remember, constantly. Harismritir Sarva Vipada Vimokshanam. No, it's a very, very amazing line. So Harismriti, the moment we remember the Supreme Lord, Sarva Vipada Vimokshanam. We will be off the difficulties. We will get off the difficulties. Anything that we have. So that's the amazing thing. The moment the Lord appears, like these demigods, like they are devotees of the Lord. So naturally, when they are put into the difficulty, the devotees of the Lord, they cry out, they call out to the Lord. So when they call out to the Lord, so the Lord actually appeared, and then the Asuric Maya, which was there, that was immediately shattered. So, so this is the very amazing thing. So any problem in life, how to understand whether we are a devotee or a demon. So when problem in life comes, we are able to think of the Lord and seek the shelter of the Lord. Then we are called devotees of the Lord. So if problem comes and we think we become overburdened by the problem, still we have not become devotees of the Lord. So we can understand like what we are like. We are something else. So it is very important. Devotees means the essential quality of a devotee is that in any situation he will be remembering the Lord. Especially when the difficulties happen. And then, O Supreme Lord, you are not an ordinary living entity appearing in this material world as a result of fruitive activities. So we all come because of our karma, by the push of the material nature. The Lord, he comes because of his own sweet will. Right? So therefore, your appearance or birth in this world has no other cause than your pleasure potency. Similarly, the living entities who are part of you have no cause for miseries like birth, death, old age, except when these living entities are conducted by your external energy. So, like this is also a very important thing. The Lord, when he comes here, he comes out of his own sweet will. So, like in one sense, the living entity also, he comes here out of his own sweet will. So, like the living entity wants to enjoy the material nature, so that is why he comes to this world. And the moment he wants to serve the Supreme Lord, so he's immediately transferred to the spiritual nature. So many places, our Acharya Srila Prabhupada, he actually mentions this point. There is only one thing that is required for us to get out of all the troubles of this material world. And what is this one thing? Desire. So the desire to attain the lotus feet of the Lord, the desire to render service to the Supreme Lord. The moment this desire actually comes, immediately we become like out of this material existence. And then, O Supreme Controller, your Lordship previously accepted incarnations as a fish, a horse, tortoise, Narsimadev, a boar, a swan, Lord Ramachandra, Parashuram, and among the demigods, Vamanadev, to protect the entire world by your mercy. Now please protect us again by your mercy by diminishing the disturbance in this world. O Krishna, best of the Yadus, we respectfully offer our obeisances unto you. It's a very nice thing, like the demigods are remembering that you always appear to give protection to the devotees, and we are your devotees, and we are like now seeking your protection. So now we are coming here, so please protect us. Right? So and then they are addressing the Devatas, they are addressing Mother Devaki, they are telling, "Oh Mother Devaki, your good fortune and ours, the Supreme Personality of Godhead himself with all his plenary portions such as Baladev is now within your womb." So they are telling that it is our great fortune. It is your good fortune, the Lord is in your womb, and it is our good fortune, the Lord is in your womb. Because when the Lord appears, it is good fortune for everyone. Everyone is going to get the benefit. Therefore, you need not fear Kamsa, who has decided to kill, who has decided to be killed by the Lord. Your eternal son Krishna will be the protector of the entire Yadu dynasty. So this is like very nice. This one that the demigods are mentioning that to Mother Yashoda, sorry, Mother Devaki, that no, you don't worry, no, you don't have any anxiety because when the Supreme Lord comes, no, he will handle all the situation. He'll be the protector, right? So after thus offering the prayers to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Lord Vishnu, the Transcendence, all the demigods, with Lord Brahma and Lord Shiva before them, return to their homes in the heavenly planets, right? So in this way, this particular chapter actually comes to an end. So this wonderful prayer has brought about many, many wonderful glorification of the Lord and many practical things that we can also actually apply in our lives. So it is not that the Lord appeared 5,000 years before and he may not be able to appear because time to chala gaya, it is not the scheduled time for him to appear. No, the Lord always makes himself available, right? So sometimes he appears in this way to perform his Leela, and always he appears in the form of his glorification, in the scriptures. And always he appears in the form of the holy name, in the form of the beautiful narrations that the saintly persons actually offer in glorification to him. So in these glorifications, we can actually feel the presence of the Lord. So if we actually approach the Lord in the right attitude, right? So, and like always, as always, like we should try to see that like our chanting, which is one of the prime process that we try to do. So we should try to do this thing in a very sincere way. Of all the things that we are asking, all of you to do, is the primary thing is the chanting of the names of the Lord, right? So we should try to see that this becomes a very important project in our life. And then every day we should actually seek and pray to the Lord that, oh, now the Lord is going to appear. When I'm going to take my beads, I'm going to chant the names of the Lord is going to appear. And I'm going to offer such wonderful prayers, having full confidence that the Lord will definitely appear. And if he doesn't appear, it's okay. Definitely, like we can give a try the next day. But then the moment you start hearing the names of the Lord clearly, so you can actually feel the presence of the Lord. You can actually feel that, like a very nourishing kind of an experience, right? So with this, I pause today's discussion. Any questions or comments we can take for a few minutes.
So as we understand, like the God is the creator of everything. So what is the necessity of creating the bad in this case, it comes out, for example. So why this badness is required? Why can't everything goodness?
Yeah, very nice question. So the Lord is the creator of everything. So why does he create the bad elements? No, why doesn't he create everything good only, right? So the Lord's own creation, the creation that happens by the choice of the Lord is the Vaikuntha Dham. There everything good is there. So when the living entity says, my Lord, you see, like here everything happens based on your choice. So I also want to have something. I also want to have some independence and freedom where I can think and do things of my own, right? So then the Lord says, okay, fine, I will create a world for you where you can experiment, you can think and do things, based on your free will, So when the Lord actually says, Dukkalayam Ashashvatam, he says this place as a Dukkalayam, it is not that he has designed this place as Dukkalayam, because like we are not aligning to the will of the Lord, automatically, there is going to be miseries, there is going to be evil, right? So just like, you see, if in a traffic junction, there is nobody regulating the traffic, what happens by nature? Naturally, what happens? Chaos. That's what happens. That's the kind of evil that we are talking about. And if there is one controller, one person who is controlling the whole thing, so then everything becomes organized, well organized. Everything all good is there. So Krishna that is what he is telling. Sarva dharman parityajya mam ekam sharanam vraja. If you at all want everything good to happen, so then there needs to be one person who takes call. Right? So one person who regulates everything. If everybody says like, no, I want to regulate everything that I want, and everybody wants to be the center of his field of activities, then the fields are going to collide. And there is going to be conflict of interest. And when this thing comes, naturally, this is the spark from where the evil actually arises. Right? So the root of all the evil is that lack of surrender to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Right? So that's the core problem that we are trying to address in Bhagavad Gita, that we should try to surrender to the Supreme Lord. So the problem is that Like independent of the Lord, if we expect happiness, it's not going to happen. Independent of the Lord, if we expect goodness, it's not going to happen. So it's lack of control. Like living entities who avoid the control of the Lord, they actually create the evil. Even if that evil is created, it is perfectly within the control of the Lord. So because like it is an experiment, it's a experiment ground that is offered to the living entities to play around in the way they want. But then like the living entities are telling, like, no, I want this, my Lord, and the Lord is sanctioning, right? A murderer is telling that I want to murder this person, and the Lord is sanctioning, right? And how does he sanction? He brings a person by his karma, he is supposed to be killed, and this person is thinking that I want to kill somebody. So the Lord just arranges both of them to meet, that's all. So, and based on the karma, like what's happened, what is supposed to happen to both the people, it happens, right? So Lord just organizes and facilitates. That's all. He doesn't put his heart into it, right? So where he puts his heart into it is when somebody says, like, my Lord, I've tried all my experiment, so now enough of all experiment, I want to like come back to you. So then it's fine, right? So the sometimes it is the example given is that if a small child wants to drive, the father knows it's not possible to drive. So then he puts the child in a like a PlayStation where there is a play car is there, and where is thick beating in the car is there, and he can go and dash and like do anything that he wants. So in the same way, the living entity, like the Lord covers the living entity with this thick body, and then like he sends him here, like now you play around as much as you like. The Lord is confident that he will not have any damage. So but then still when the child is playing with the play toy, when he dashes with another child, like then he cries, no, you see Papa, like he's actually beating me. And father will say, okay, fine, like no, kelo jitna der tak khelna kelo, and khel khatam ho gaya tha, aa jao. Once the game is finished, you come. I can keep you happy, right? So the Lord has created a playground, and till the time we want to experiment in this playground, we will be miserable, right? So and it is our own choice we wanted to experiment, right? So we want to take shelter of the Lord, and that's the position where we can actually have all good. Like that. Thank you. Any other question? Yes, Paul. Mic is not there. You can speak.
We heard about again garlics. It is a different question. Okay, I joined now. But are we talking about something of sugar? Sugar. Because we heard about onion garlics. We should not eat. So, do you have any suggestion on how we have to avoid sugar?
Okay.
Right.
That's a very interesting question. Yeah, there is a lot of this whites are avoided, whites to be avoided, white rice, white wheat, and no white sugar and stuff like that. So that's a very nice question, but you have to put this question to a doctor. So because see, the important thing, onion and garlic, if you ask a doctor, he will say it is very good for your health. In fact, it is very good for your health. If you want to be healthy, you should actually eat them, right? So, but why do we ask you to avoid that? Because we are in the space of the mind, in the space of the consciousness. So the things which can affect the consciousness, that we actually say that because we are a doctor of consciousness. And if you ask me, like, what is the best thing to do? So then I will tell this. Currently, like one of my close relatives is going through some difficulty, and then we are going to different doctors. And then, one nephrologist, he recommended these things to be eaten. And then, like we go to the diabetist, and dietitian, like he says that no, this should not be eaten. Like this is very dangerous for your diabetics. It'll worsen your situation. But then that doctor told me, like, you should eat this. So he is only concerned about nephrology. He's concerned only about kidney, and this person is concerned only about the diabetes. And in this way, we are concerned only about consciousness. If you ask me sugar, like I'm not very expert in that subject. You should ideally ask a doctor, so then he will be able to give you a right solution.
I'm looking like a spiritual. Okay.
Spiritually, no effect you can have.
No, but like they are using too many chemicals to produce this kind of sugar. Okay. But if like generally we go for traditionally like jaggery. Okay, it is like it's come from the nature only. Right? Yeah. But here they are processing too many things. They are adding too many chemicals. Okay, we are not thinking about that. We are thinking about just taste. Okay, and even we are putting in the prasadam. I don't know, we are putting in jaggery, like we are using jaggery or we are putting sugar. But in prasadam, we are offering to Lord also. So, those kind of things we need to think like what kind of like, because Krishna didn't eat sugar, like.
No, he ate sugar. So, like, see, there are many controversial, this ones about this. There is no one single opinion about this particular thing. So, if you see, like, there are many videos that circulate on this subject and things like that. But we cannot endorse anything, or we cannot like subscribe to any particular thing on this particular stance. So, if you are a dietitian or if you are an expert in this domain, so we can, you can advise our volunteers, so they may choose to follow that. So that's very nice of you. But then we cannot like make any solid comment about this particular thing, right? So because our primary thing of discussion is about the matter of the consciousness. Yes.
Everything like good and bad, everything in the control of right? Something bad is happening, right? That is like just like based on his karma and the other person, right? So how, as a person, like as a human being, how we can react to that? So we have to just believe like that is their karma and because of that it is happening, or we have to act in that situation, or how we can react to such situation.
Yeah, it's a very nice question. That good and bad happens by the will of the Lord. If something bad is happening, so how should we react? No, should we just tolerate, or no? How should we react? So the reaction is in different ways. When something bad happens, like for example, our health is getting affected, so then like we have to take some precautions, like we should take some medication and things like that. And with little bit of endeavor, we are not able to, the things are not going to get solved. So then we should understand this is our karma. It's going to happen. It's going to be like this. So then we should learn to tolerate that particular thing. So anything that happens that we can change with a little bit of endeavor, so that means that is worth doing something. But if it is going to be very difficult to change, so then it is not worth doing that particular thing. So we should actually accept it as karma and we should tolerate it. And in fact, like when somebody else is going through some difficulty, somebody is met with an accident, and say like, no, uska karma aggregate. So that's not the right thing. No, his karma was there, he fell. But in this situation, Krishna has given me capacity to help. So if I don't help, no, mujh mein bhi karma layega. No, so the karma will come to me also, right? So there is a particular way in which I'm supposed to act in that particular situation. So if I don't act in that way, so then I will also get the effect of it, right? So in this way, like every situation, it is, if we read the scriptures, so every situation, what is rightfully supposed to be done is actually mentioned. So when we do that particular thing, so then we will be able to we will be able to avoid that particular karma, right? So especially in Kali Yuga, it is mentioned, Kaler dosha nide rajan, hasti nekon mahan guna, kirtana deva krishnasya mukta sangha param praje. So it mentions that Kali Yuga is an ocean of faults. So many things will go faulty, so many things will go bad. Like that, the sugar may be poisoned, and then maybe rice may be poisoned. In the name of rice, like what is that? Plastic may be supplied, and so many things may happen. And we should try to endeavor to correct them. And if we are not able to correct them, so the Bhagavatam is saying that just chant Hare Krishna and die. Kalir dosha nide rajan, hastin ekon mahan guna, kirtana deva krishnasya mukta sangha param braje. So, like, if we are not able to correct the situation, we should try to correct the situation. But if we are not able to, so then the ultimate thing is like we should not try to correct things of this world at the cost of chanting the Hare Krishna, right? So the primary thing is like we should chant the Hare Krishna, we should try to protect our devotional attitude, And then on top of it, we should try to try to help and try to act in like whatever way appropriate in the right situation, right? So in many different ways, like the contaminations is going to be there, especially in Kali Yuga. Like if somebody's like whenever I speak about this, somebody says like, no, so you say like accident, then or somebody is in difficulty, you should help. No, I'm seeing like everybody around me are in difficulty. No, kitna मैं help कर सकता हूँ? No, I have a limit. How much I can do? So then, yeah, so like you have a limit. So first of all, self-protection. So we should be equipped with our self-protection. So we should not sacrifice our sadhana. We should not sacrifice our meditation on the names of the Lord and our devotional practice. And after that, no, we should try to like protect other people as much as our capacity allows. Right? So we should try to do something, no, like for their welfare. And when we do this thing, like to the best of our capacity, even if we are not able to cater to everyone, but still it is appreciated, right? And then the great personalities who have lot of spiritual strength, they can actually do much more service to the people. They can actually extend themselves to save more people, right? And weak personalities, they should first take care of themselves. No, this is how those of you like who have worked in the corporate environment, like whenever this fire, this one training that happens, no? Huh? Fire drill, no, evacuation and things like that. First thing is self-protection. No, if you live, you can save somebody. If you yourself don't live, know what you will do. So the same way, like we should try to protect ourselves, no, and then we should try to save others. Right? So that's the general principle. And people who are a little more stronger, so they will be able to take a little more risk and they will be able to protect many people. Right? So like that. Hare Krishna. ठीक है, because was we chant for all the Krishna. So, yes.
होता है वो कृष्ण जी की इच्छा से होता है सर। अगर मेरे साथ आज कुछ बुरा हो रहा है तो मेरे पूरा किया हो, इसलिए ऐसा होता है। तो जो भी होता है उसकी इच्छा से होता है ना। तो मेरे पुराने जन्म में जो भी वो उनकी इच्छा से हुआ है ना, तो उसकी क्या करती है।
So बहुत इम्पोर्टेंट है, लाइक जो भी हो रहा है, लाइक इंग्लिश में मैं उत्तर दूंगा तो आपको समझ में आएगा ना. So like this both of it is true. Like whatever happens is by the will of the Lord. And then if something bad happens to me now, it's because of I have done something bad in the past. So for that it is happening. So why did that bad thing happen? So that also happened by the will of the Lord. Yeah, so this is a very important question. So in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna mentions there are 5 factors to action. No, like adhishtanam, tatha karta, karanam cha pratak dudam, vividam sa pratak cheshta, daivam chaivatra panchamam. Right? So these 5 factors are there. So like 2 important factors of this 5 factors. We don't have time to discuss all the 5 factors. So one of the factors is me, the living entity, and second factor is the Supreme Lord, who is the controller of everything. So now I have a desire. Now I have a desire to do a particular thing. So I cannot move everything of this world. No, everything like this earth, water, fire, air, ether, everything is property of Krishna, right? So even if I have to take a knife and murder somebody, no, this knife is a property of Krishna and my brain is a property of Krishna. My body is made of Panchabhuta, that is also property of Krishna. And unless Krishna sanctions, none of these things are going to move, right? And the living entity has a desire that I want to do something wrong. And the Lord sanctions. No, everything happens because of His will, because if He doesn't sanction, the action will not happen, right? So the Lord, the living entity desires, the Lord sanctions, and the material nature executes it, right? So 3-point action is there. No, just like the owner of a company, he sanctions a payment, and then the cashier disperses the payment, right? So in the same way, like a father, nothing can happen without the sanction of the father. But if the child cries, I want to have a toffee, then the father says, okay, fine, like, you are crying so much, have it. No, it doesn't mean that the father wants it, right? So everything is perfectly under the control of the Lord. When the living entity wants something badly, the Lord sanctions it, right? So without the Lord's sanction, nothing can happen. Not even a blade of grass moves without the sanction of the Lord. But not everything that is sanctioned by the Lord is the desire of the Lord, right? So it's the living entity's desire, the Lord sanctions it, right? So we desire, we have a role. Without we having a role, we cannot be punished, right? So we have a role of desiring, and the Lord has the role of sanctioning, right? Like that. Hare Krishna. ठीक Acha, okay. I will not be able to maintain the speed.
Hare Krishna. Thank you all very much for assembling. And we are very fortunate to hear from Hariksetra today in this wonderful festival of Shravan Utsav, the Janmashtami celebration, ongoing Janmashtami celebrations. So we can understand from Prabhuji's wonderful Katha that how deep he is when it comes to devotional practices. So you can see what was the emphasis that Prabhu was giving again and again. So Prabhuji was talking about the holy name, getting taste of Srimad Bhagavatam, surrender unto the Lord, dependence on the Lord. So we are very fortunate to have such superiors who have such deep devotional mood. And by their deep devotional mood, we can also advance very, very fast in Krishna consciousness. So let's thank Prabhuji from the bottom of our heart by chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Hare.
So we'll chant one round of Hare Krishna Mahamantra now. So we all will come a bit forward. Now many Aarti devotees and Prasad devotees will come. Who come only for Aarti and Prasad. So we should have some space for that also. Yes.
Jai Prabhupada, Jai Hare Krishna, Hare
Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Gauranga. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna
परमहंस परिव्राजकाचार्य अष्टोत्तर शत श्री श्रीमद स्टीवेंद्र श्री भक्ति वेदांत स्वामी महाराज श्री प्रभुपाद की जय। जय विष्णुपाद परमहंस परिव्राजकाचार्य अष्टोत्तर शत श्री श्रीमद स्टीवेंद्र भक्ति सिद्धांत सरस्वती ठाकुर महाराज श्री प्रभुपाद की जय। अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय। नामाचार्य श्री हरिदास ठाकुर की जय। प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद की जय। श्री श्री राधा कृष्ण गोप गोपीनाथ श्याम कुंद राधा कुंद गिरि गोवर्धन की जय। ब्रजभूमि वृंदावन धाम की जय, मायापुर नवद्वीप धाम की जय, पुरुषोत्तम क्षेत्र जगन्नाथपुरी धाम की जय, गंगामई की जय, यमुनामई की जय, भक्ति देवी की जय, तुलसी महारानी की जय, संवेद और भक्त वृंद की जय, all glories to assembled devotees, all glories to assembled devotees, all glories to assembled devotees, all glories to Sri Sri Guru and Gauranga, all glories to Srila Prabhupada, Jai Srila Prabhupada.
Hare Krishna. Hope, I think one question was there about sugar level. I hope now the sugar level is under control. So we have to thank our Kirtanyas, Anirudh Prabhu and Baladev Prabhu for such a wonderful Kirtan. Let's all chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra once for them to know for their progress in Bhakti. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. We have one more special day today. So one of our Mataji, Samyukta Mataji's son's birthday today. His name is Arya Vaibhav. So it's a special day. Mataji is very nicely practicing Krishna consciousness along with Prabhuji. So we'll do the cake cutting now. Then you can offer flowers to the Lordships. Okay? We'll arrange the cake. So in normal birthdays we sing happy birthday to you, but in Krishna conscious day we sing different.